Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast, episode 160 for August 14th, 2026. I'm your host, the Uncharted Wolf, and I'm joined today by two very special guests to talk about all the things in the world of gaming. Some fun headlines here and there that I wanted to yap about. A lot of previews, surprisingly enough, on two big releases coming out next month. So I wanted to talk about those. So I got two people to help me out with all of the news. First and foremost, I got my man, Jack E.G. How you doing, brother?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Doing all right, chilling over in the UK. How's the weather over there? I'm actually curious.
Well, the entire street just had massive, severe alerts on their phones going about the heat wave and risk of wildfires. So take that how
Oh,
you
that's
want.
fun. It's funny because I'll always see like the degrees in the UK. It's like it's a massive heat wave, and it's like 80 degrees, and it's like at first I'm like weak, and then I remember it's like y'all don't have the infrastructure for that, and like most of y'all don't got like AC and stuff.
No, we don't. It's it hasn't been pleasant.
I just had 101 degrees, I think, was yesterday. It's weird. August tends to be the hottest month, which is annoying because it's like this is the last day of summer and you're gonna hit me with like the hottest days now.
Yeah, I don't know when ours
I don't,
usually are. Probably July-ish. But I think we've July felt hotter all the way through, but we've had like the highest temperatures in August so far.
that's just fun. I'm also joined by Moon. How you doing, brother?
Like when you said Jack, it sounded like you said my friend ChatGPT. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, just introducing to the podcast, ChatGPT.
Hey,
There's a
they have
story
that
about
voice
ChatGPT later.
they have that voice version now. So whenever none of us can be on the call, you just bring in ChatGPT.
I love fucking with that voice version because I'll just call him like a fucking loser bum, and he'll be like, "I'm sorry you feel that way." It's just like, okay, dude. Wood, I know you're in California. How hot is it now?
We're starting to get it. Like it was so funny. Like the rest of the country was getting like these massive heat waves, and we're like, we're chilling here in the 80s. We're pretty good. And then it's all coming back to bite us now. It's gone pretty high over here. Like we've been in the hundreds past couple days,
Yeah,
and I think it's
it started on the East Coast and then just slowly went over to us.
Yeah, it's not too bad today. We're actually back down in the 80s, so it just comes in spurts, and it's
That's cool.
annoying because we never know how hot it's going to be.
Well, boys, let's talk about all the gaming news. First and foremost, you guys want to find us YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcast platforms are found. Like the podcast helps us out a lot, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at a slice of gaming, all one word. Icebreaker. I actually couldn't think of one before the podcast. I'll just have Jack. Jack, I'll defer to you. You got anything fun?
Man, I wish I'd had setup.
Threw you on the spot. I don't know. I like it be more spontaneous with my icebreakers, so I thought I would just throw it to you.
Can I do a gaming related one?
Yeah, of course. Icebreakers can be anything.
What's the console you feel most attached to?
Oh, that's a fun one. That's
like not
tough,
necessarily
yeah.
your favorite, just the one you are unbelievably attached to, if there is one.
Yeah, I think it would have to be a tie, Jack, between the PS2, the PS3, and the DS. I'm just so intrinsically attached to all of them. PS2 is like my childhood one. The DS is the one that like I stuck with for like over a decade. Like I'll admit something. I have broken a couple TSs. I got new ones, which was very, very kind of my parents. But I just remember always getting. I'll be like, I can't live without the DS. I need the DS. Like pretty much anywhere I went, I was just attached to that thing. Um, Usually playing some bullshit like Cake Mania or playing a Pokemon game. And also the PS3. Like that was like kind of my first like quote unquote online console, and like that was a big deal for me. If I had to choose one, it would probably be the DS though. Like that was the one where I'm just like, it's not my favorite Nintendo library, not really, but like that's the Nintendo library I think I feel the most attached to. Despite I'll admittedly say like I haven't played that many of the big DS games. Like I haven't even played the Zelda games on DS, but I'm just always like going back to it. I'm like, God, I love just playing on the DS. Like it's just a fun library to go back to and screw around in. And I mean that was also just the best era of Pokemon in my opinion. Where like Gen 4 and 5 were unbelievable in terms of high quality game releases. So yeah, DS for me.
Yep, that's fair. What about you, Moon? Do you have one?
I don't know. It's kind of like a weird question because I'm always like if you want to talk like childhood one, and there was like the GameCube, but even looking back on the GameCube, I didn't really play that much on it. Like I had, your standard like Melee and um God, what else did I even have on there? Whenever I think of my GameCube, I think of like my time just going to Blockbuster and never having the game that I wanted to rent.
Yeah,
Didn't you? I think I remember you talking on a podcast once about what was it, Custom Robo?
Custom Robo, yeah, that was your example of your parents buying you a game for your birthday. You've never heard of it, but they said, "Hey, look, there's this cool robot on the cover," and I did really enjoy it. Like, it's actually a good game. One of my probably first forays into a real JRPG,
That's
and
awesome.
nothing's ever replicated that kind of combat. So it's kind of interesting that game just kind of lived in this lone little bubble and it's never been replicated. But I mean, yeah, I did also spend a lot of time with Pokemon. So there's like the DS, and if you want to say like a turning point in my gaming career, it'd be like the 360, because that's when I started playing like mature rated games with like Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3. Soul Calibur was only rated T, and then you also have like the other turning point for me where I was not a Nintendo kid anymore. Yeah, I'm dying. Choking on lasagna.
I could
But there was
fucking
also like the
lasagna
turning
right
point
now.
where I was no longer a Nintendo kid and I got my PlayStation 2. It was funny. It was the day before Thanksgiving, and I went to go at Hollywood Video pick up a PlayStation 2, and I got Soul Calibur 3 and Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Oh
And the
hell
only
yeah!
reason why I did this was because Soul Calibur 3 was a PlayStation 2 exclusive, and that's why I bought it. Because I was really into Soul Calibur 2, and I'm like, oh, I want to play 3, so I got to get the PlayStation 2.
That's fun. Yeah, I remember that because Soul Calibur was just like I remember because originally Soul Calibur 2 was gonna have Cloud as the character, and then Square Enix said no. Shocker. Um, and then PlayStation was like, "Oh yeah, well we'll take Soul Calibur 3 exclusively." It's like what? I don't think anyone was asking you to do that, but okay.
Yeah, so if I like had to
Yeah, no,
really pick, but if I had to like, those would probably be around them. But I don't really feel like any attachment to them per se, as people would say. So it's just like,
mhm.
those are like in the Moonlight timeline. Those are like turning points of my gaming life.
I'm surprised you wouldn't say the 360.
he did. He
Yeah, I
mentioned that
did.
as his turning point.
Oh, oh, wait.
Yeah,
Okay, I must have
when I
caught
started
up.
playing mature rated games.
Gotcha. That's on me. That's on me. Yeah, no shout outs, man. Jack, what about you?
It probably is the Nintendo 64. Like I've said before, that it is my favorite
Oh yeah.
console. It was my first console. It's got the most games that I like. Like growing up, obviously there weren't any RPGs on it, but that didn't bother me because I wasn't an RPG guy. So
Yeah, good
it's
man.
yeah, it's probably that, or I suppose like second place would be like Game Boy Advance. Like I played no
Oh wow.
first party games on that, but I loved all the license slop that I played on it.
Oh,
So
like the Nicktoons games.
yeah, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know if that was any good. I don't think it was. I think that reviews like really badly, but I've never played it since.
There are
That
certain games where you have to not play them again just to preserve the memory.
yeah, like there was a lot of PS2 games like that I think like just games that I think are reviewed in like the 40s, but I liked them a lot playing them. So
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, it probably is Nintendo 64 though.
64 is a great answer. I love the 64. Really fun library. Very small library, but that's kind of what that adds to it for me, Jack. Where it's just like, oh, this is a small library where you can kind of get intimate with like each of the games on it. Like you can
Yeah,
be like, oh, I know that one.
and the highs are so high, like so
Oh
it
yeah.
really doesn't bother me how small the library is when it's got so many good games.
I mean, it's got Quest 64 for RPG fans. There you go.
Exactly. What are they complaining about?
I really hope that's on NSO, just because I think it'd be funny.
I don't know
It's
who
not a
owns
good
the,
game, but it'd be funny.
I don't know if Nintendo owns the rights to that or whether someone else does. I can't
I
remember.
I feel like I don't remember who published it. I think it was a Japanese company. Uh,
I'm gonna have to look
yeah,
into this.
developed by Imagineer.
Yes. I can't remember what else they've made. They've made a few other things.
Is
I think they're
Imagineer a
still
real one?
around. Yeah, I believe they're still around.
I feel like the Quest 64 IP is like $20. I feel like we could buy it. So I don't know. I feel like if Nintendo's like really desperate, it's like, yeah, I guess we could add that.
Yeah.
I feel like they added most of the big N64 NSO games there.
Probably a reason why it's complicated, because if you look at publishers, it has a different one for each region. So for North America, it was THQ. For Europe, it was Konami. And for Japan, it was Imagineer.
So I would imagine Imagineer probably owns the rights. Oh, they're the people who make Fitness Boxing. That's why I recognize their name from.
Yeah, Nintendo works with them. Yeah, no, I mean, we're working really hard for the Quest 64 IP. It's just so we could put it on NSO. I guess when they get desperate, they're like, fuck it.
Also, I'm surprised you're not calling its Europe name, Jack.
Oh, no, because
it has a different name in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. It's called Holy Magic Century.
I'm a fake fan. I didn't know that.
Holy Magic Century. You know, my favorite European name to this day is the bully name, where I think it's like
Canis Canim Edit. Yeah.
Why did they call it that? It's so funny.
It was according to like a load of rumor. This is probably just like a myth, but people say that it's like, oh, there was a rise in bullying in the UK at the time, and they didn't want to advertise a game that encouraged it, so they just changed the name. That's probably just an urban legend, but it's just funny to think about.
I was about to say, it's like, oh, but Rockstar's British, or like they're from the UK, so like that wouldn't affect them, or like, why would it be called Bully in the US but not there? And I remember it's like, this was Rockstar Vancouver that did Bully, and they're Canadian.
Yeah,
they don't have Bully in Canada, so
that's true. They're too polite to bully people.
Yeah, they're just annoying online.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they fill the name in with the Canis Caemeta, which is Latin for dog eat dog, which like maybe is a little bit higher than just a bully. Talking about the cruel real world of dog eat dog world.
I actually don't mind the name. I actually quite like the European name because it looks and reads like a school motto.
That's the thing, Jack. I don't mind it, but it's also like, I don't mind it because we're talking about it 20 years later. Could you imagine seeing that as like a kid in Blockbuster? It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, no, dude, I'm playing, I don't know, GTA.
I think when it got re-released, they call it Bully nowadays. Like, I think the 360 version was just called Bully. So I'd have to double check.
You don't really see that nowadays, is like the regional difference in names.
No, like the most recent one I can think of was Rhythm Paradise remake Groove, the new Rhythm Heaven game. Like they still call it Rhythm Paradise in Europe, so that's like the last one.
They did a Lilac Wars when they re-released Star Fox. They just called it Star Fox in UK. So
yeah, broke my damn heart.
It's like, come on, you guys got to go all the way.
Exactly.
But yeah, shout out to Europe and European names. I love those. Let's talk about the news. First and foremost, Sony's actually been pretty communicative lately. Not about physical games, God forbid, Jack, but about their new games. First and foremost, though, Jack, a game you were a big fan of, Ghost of Yotei, is getting a new story expansion and roguelike mode in October, plus a complete edition. Echoes of Sekigahara and Most Wanted will cost $14.99. This is Chris Scullion over at VGC. The new expansion is titled Echoes of Sekigahara and will be available alongside a new combat survival mode called Most Wanted. Both modes will be released on October 1st and will be included together for $14.99 as DLC, for players who already own Ghost of Yotei. For those who don't, a new complete edition of the game is available today for $69.99. Players who buy it can start playing the base game now, with Echoes of Sekigahara and Most Wanted arriving as a patch on October 1st. Now, Jack, you would remember this. Ghost of Yotei, that was $70 on launch, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Players who either buy the complete edition or pre-order the DLC by September 30th will also receive the Sakai armor, which is described as a throwback to Jin's family armor from Ghost of Tsushima. Sony says this is an early unlock, implying the armor could still be earned by playing through the DLC. Sony's description for Echoes of Sekigahara reads, split between the present day and flashbacks to Atsu's time on the mainland. You'll meet Nagato, a figure from Atsu's past, who has arrived in Ezo. And then they kind of go into more details on that. Most Wanted, meanwhile, is a roguelike single-player combat survival mode, according to Sony. You'll accept bounties in order to start new runs where taking down the enemies will earn you perks, as well as unlock additional characters to play as, it says. Now, Jack, Big fan of this game. I don't actually know how big of a DLC guy you are, but you jumping back into Yote for this one?
I'm not usually a big DLC fan unless it's for a game I really, really like, and this game is one of those. So yeah, I definitely will play it. Don't know if I'll be there like the day it releases, because like first week of October, I think there's a couple of other games that I'm wanting to play. So this is the kind of thing that I might pick up around Christmas. It would be fun. I never
I
actually
think
played the
that's going with the
Tsushima
new
deal.
physical.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the physical with it included, because again, it is a
Yeah.
game that I like a lot. So I might do that. Not sure yet though, because again, I already own the game, so it's a lot of money to spend
Yeah.
just for a DLC on the disc. But still, it's cool. I'll probably wait and see if it is like entirely on the disc and not just a code, which Sony's usually good about that. But this is the same Sony that's getting rid of discs, so I don't know how good they're going to be. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like, I never played the Tsushima DLC, but I heard that was excellent. So honestly, I just want to play my Yoto. Like, it's really good. The roguelike mode, like, I'm not really a roguelike guy, but I can imagine it working quite well in this case because I do enjoy the combat a lot. So yeah, I'm in.
Nice. Yeah, it's really interesting because it's they I think the Tsushima DLC was like a year later. So yeah, this is a pretty on track for Sucker Punch. They've been doing this with a lot of Sony games recently, Jack. This roguelike mode where they did that for Last of Us 2, they did it for God of War Ragnarok. They're a big fan of this. I Listen, I'll be honest. I'm a little annoyed that like Insomniac hasn't done one because I'm like, I'd kill for a roguelike mode of Ratchet and Spider-Man. Like the best part of y'all's games is the gameplay. So I'm like, yeah, I would do a roguelike mode of those. I don't care about the story as much with them. But hey, I think it's cool that Yote is still getting new content. Probably gonna be the only expansion I imagine, but yeah, October 1st. Kind of a tough release date, Jack. Anything coming around that time that you're like, oh damn, like am I gonna have to move away from that? But I guess you're saying you're gonna play this around Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not like skipping on the Galactic Racer for this. Like that is, I'm looking forward to that too much. So that'll probably be my
Sounds
like
like it.
first week of October game.
Moon, I forget you beat Yote, correct?
Yeah, I platinumed it.
Oh yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, any interest in jumping back into it for this?
I would have if I didn't turn in my disc.
Hey, hey, look at what you could do with that disc though. You're able to turn it in. Isn't that cool?
I know it's the best part. It's like I don't have to have the things sitting around. But yeah, I honestly, because they took so long to even say, yeah, we're doing DLC, I figured they weren't. So I kind of got rid of it. So unfortunately, I don't think it's worth buying it all over again to check out the DLC. But it's nice that for the people who held on to hope for DLC that they're getting something. And a lot of stuff too, actually. New mode, new
Yeah,
story, a lot of stuff.
way more than I expected. Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's just like it 1 year is like pretty quick, but it's also like they didn't say they were gonna do DLC or not. And it's one of those things. It's like if you're just gonna reveal it on the PlayStation blog, not as like a big like, here it is in the state of play. If I'm Sony, I've been like, yeah, just say like, oh, we're gonna have DLC in the future. Like, obviously you're working on it for a while. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'll throw you guys with this. Do you guys remember the multiplayer mode that was earlier this year? Ghost of
Uh, I
Yote
I know it
Legends.
existed, but I didn't
There
play
was
it.
one. There was one for Yote. I know there was one for Tsushima.
There was Ghost of Yote Legends. It came out around March this year, and nobody played it. It was one of those things where it's like they did not publicize it at all. Like on the Sony side, I think it was at a state of play, maybe, but even that, I might be wrong about that. Just I don't know what happened with that. To be fair, though, that was more of a multiplayer mode, not a live service. So like, I do remember though. It came out around the same time as Marathon, and it's like, Sony, do you guys know what you're doing? Like with your release schedule? Clearly not. Um, yeah, I mean, this comes out like a couple weeks after Wolverine, so I think Sony fans are going to be eating if they're a big fan of these type of games. Um, as for me, I'm probably just I haven't even finished Yote, so I'm like, yeah, this is a skip. But maybe eventually, if I ever do finish that game, I could get back into this. I do like that roguelike. The roguelike mode, I'm like, wait, because I fuck with the roguelike modes in Sony games. Moving into our next story. This is a weird one. Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green version for Switch are set to link with Pokemon Home beginning October 2026. Now, Moon, if you remember, they said when Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, they're like, and it will have connection to Pokemon Home. And then that happened, and they were like, oh, it's going to come at a later date.
It's like immediately retracted. It's like, maybe later.
8 months later. 8 months later, apparently. But they kind of sneaked this one in. Warrior64 put this up. Pokemon Bank end of service, February 25th, 2027. If you don't remember, Pokemon Bank is effectively the application on your 3DS that allowed you to store Pokemon. And it was actually like the big intermediary between getting a Pokemon from like all the way from like Ruby and Sapphire all the way to the current games, because you had Pokemon Bank be able to go to Pokemon Home. They're just not gonna allow that anymore. On the one hand, I'm surprised it lasted this long, but also it's like, how much does it cost to keep it up? That's kind of my thing, where I'm just like, is it really detracting that much sales from you guys to just keep Pokemon Bank up indefinitely?
I think
And
it's
also,
just
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's probably just a side effect to them just getting rid of everything within the 3DS. Everything of that is shutting down.
Yeah, which just sucks, because I'm just like, you might as well just keep it up. I can't imagine it costs that much to leave the bank servers up. So it's just kind of annoying. So something that kind of might go into this. This is a tweet from Shep. I never know how to pronounce his name. Nick, the leaker Nick. Now here's the thing: I never put his leaks up because I'll be honest, I don't know. I do not like this guy at all. I think he's really fucking annoying. But he did put up this tweet, and I think it has like a discussion point with this. Currently, the ports of Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire are planned for late September/October. This kind of sounds to me, Moon, as a, hey, we're ending Pokemon Bank, but we're also allowing you to be able to get basically all the Pokemon from these previous gen. Like, we're re-releasing all these previous gen Pokemon games, which I expected would be like way slower. If it's like 2 a year, I think that's a pretty all right make do. I'm still like annoyed. Like, you should just keep it up. But also, it's like, hey, listen, if you're like, hey, we're re-releasing these games and they're $20, they're cheaper than you'd get them physically, like, straight up. So it's like, I don't know. I don't like it personally, but I'm also like, hey, if you can create this, like, I don't know, in betweener thing, like, just hey, this is like a nice compromise, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's just basically them just killing off everything associated with the 3DS as the shop goes down and everything else. They're like, well, we got to end all of this stuff because we're just shutting down everything there. And, well, here's your replacement. I mean, at least they're offering a replacement at the very least. And it is something that people want. Like, I think Fire Red and Leaf Green release on the Switch was a success. Like, it sold a lot, and I'm sure these will do
like
just as much. Yeah. So it's nice that the compromise is there, and then, but now we're looking at like, oh, where's Heart Gold, Soul Silver?
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be later. I assume because they have like the GBA emulator set up. It's like, okay, we can get Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, if by next year, like, let's say we're on Pokemon Day, which, by the way, very funny. End of service for Bank is on Pokemon Day, which is a very funny anniversary present. It's just like, hey, all your friends are going to be gone. But if we're on Pokemon Day, they're like, hey guys, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Like, we're re-releasing those, and then like later that year, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then next year, Black and White, stuff like that. I think that would be a pretty good make do. It is though, Moon. I'll say this: Diamond and Pearl and Platinum have remakes on Switch. Bad remakes, but they're remakes, and they're like, well, we don't want you to play the old versions. We want you to play the remake.
So most likely, yeah, they're not going to. But hey, at least we'll get Black and White, because I guess Black and White remakes just don't exist.
I mean, you say that now. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually. It's just a weird thing where I'm like, I feel like there's a better way to do this, but at the very least, I'll say this: give a better heads up. Like, burying this in your article about Fire Red and Leaf Green in only like 6 months, it's like at least a year would have been nice. But yeah, just not too much else to say there. Next story. This is interesting one from Jez Gordon. Blizzard is now the top performing Xbox studio, says internal emails, as the Overwatch maker ends financial year 26 over delivering on Microsoft projections. Microsoft purchased blah blah blah. This is just a bunch of that. Free from the reins of Activision, Blizzard now operates as a limited integration entity within Microsoft's Xbox division, and the results well and truly speak for themselves. Overwatch is arguably better than ever, with a razor-sharp focus on fan feedback and new content. WoW still has issues with its writing and polish, but the content cadence has never been more consistent, and genre-defining franchise Diablo has seen a stunning return to form with an overhaul of the endgame loop atop a truly spectacular expansion in the form of Lord of Hatred. All that painstakingly hard work has seemingly paid off. A new email sent by Blizzard President Johanna Faries to staff this past week celebrated the division's roaring return to growth. Blizzard President Johanna Faries opened the email rallying the team ahead of BlizzCon 26. The weekend will reflect the bold and collaborative work of everyone reading this, she said. It's my hope that the event can shine a light on the work underway at Blizzard and that it can serve as a powerful springboard into a new era of momentum and excitement behind our mission to bring joy and belonging for communities worldwide. Faries also laid out Blizzard's performance throughout financial year 26, which just ended with Microsoft with Xbox 11% down overall. While Xbox overall has struggled, Blizzard is the one area that continues to thrive and grow. And it goes on about like kind of the financial upkeep of Blizzard, but it seems like right now Blizzard's kind of the golden child over at Xbox, which is great to hear. I mean, Overwatch especially has had like a major turnaround. There was a time where people thought Overwatch was just fully dead, and then they just came back with a big swing this year, and it's kind of bigger than ever. And that's awesome to see because I'm a big Overwatch fan. I'm not really care about the other Blizzard franchises, but those are still doing substantially well. It's pretty clear like Blizzard has turned around substantially now that they're not constantly being over monitored by Bobby Kotick. And also, it seems like the current CEO, Johanna Faries, has done very good job of establishing Blizzard back to a more dominant role.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising and not surprising at the same time. It's not surprising because when you look at the stuff that they're putting out, Warcraft, Starcraft, Overwatch, Hearthstone, they're all still they're money makers. So it's like it's not surprising that they are the most profitable branch of Xbox. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, they have had their struggles, but I guess at the same time, it's just that it's nice that everything turned around and they're kind of just being left alone. But what surprised me is that Mojang is not the most profitable part of Xbox. It's like you would think with all the just everything Minecraft related, it's like they're not the biggest moneymaker.
Yeah, it's weird. They say top performing, and I wonder if that's a case of like, oh, overall top performing, but Mojang is still kind of like the ones that bring in the most money.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not really. Maybe there's something more into the article, but yeah, I would expect something like Candy Crush or Minecraft to be like the big money makers for them. But yeah, really awesome to see. Blizzard's doing great. Um, I wonder what's going to be at BlizzCon. There was that rumor, the StarCraft shooter, that's kind of like a third-person shooter, first-person type deal. I'd be really hyped for that. I've never really played a StarCraft game, but I do like games with guns. So if I could just play it like a shooter and not an RTS, I'm so down for that. But yeah, September 12th for BlizzCon. So we're actually approaching to that quick. September coming up, man. It's going to be a bloodbath for us. We got a lot of stuff to play. Next story. This is a funny one. Jack, I was very entertained by this story. With the Saber CEO. Paul Tassi threw this. A woman writing a Saber game said she was fired and replaced with AI, and the CEO response is one of the most insane things I've ever read. This Week in Video Games requested a follow-up comment from Saber Interactive and received the following statement from Karch. Stella who? I had to ask Claude because I have never spoken to her or seen her. I mean, come on, when we start like that, that's hilarious. You gotta admit. The guy sucks, but also you gotta admit that's the funniest way he could have started that. We have already said we are using AI for certain parts of the game, and we'll update the Steam page once we have finalized the feature set. Let me clarify that the entire story script, were it to win an award, would go to someone who can walk up stage and receive it. It was always our intention to reveal this until Stella violated her confidentiality clause and revealed this before we were ready. We look at our use of AI in this particular game, which will be a lower price title, as a plus for consumers, he said. As far as Stella is concerned, she was replaced by someone more talented and terminated her for a variety of reasons a few months later. From what I could gather, she enjoys controversy even more than I do. I would frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would be dealing with someone programmed to be honest.
Goddamn.
Genuinely the funniest CEO statement I've ever read. I was howling when I first read this. Dude just let it all out. He was mad. I just love starting with Stella who? It's like, okay, man, you do not got the aura to be able to talk like that. Jack, I know you brought this up first. I know you're very woke against AI, but you gotta admit it was kind of funny. As
Look,
shitty as it is.
Matthew Koch is a scumbag. He really is. Like, he's over the years, like, he's just proven more and more. Like, he's a big Asmongold fan. He's doing this. He's a pretty vile individual, and
I haven't even
unfortunately, Saber's
heard
pretty
much of
great.
him.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
you hear
That's the
you hear
rough
a lot
part.
about him
Yeah.
in my work circles. I'm afraid. So
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not invited.
yeah, you gotta join the club. I'm afraid. What's funny is just a few hours ago, Saber has finally added the AI disclosure to their Steam page for this
Oh,
game.
really?
Would you like me to read it? So,
Yeah, let's hear it.
the main campaign story, characters, and dialogue are written by a team of human writers. AI tools are used for voice generation and some localization. The optional free ride mode includes AI generated passenger missions and localized dialogue. Free ride mode is separate from the main campaign and can be skipped by players who prefer to experience only human written narrative content. The game also includes a mix of radio stations featuring human made music and AI generated music. Stations containing AI generated music are clearly labeled as such in the game.
AI generated music?
Yeah,
Who's
here we
listening
go.
to that? Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, to be completely serious for a second, it just kind of sucks that like now we got to do this for every game of like, okay, is this going to be AI generated? What parts of this is AI generated? And it just gets to a point where it's like we can't. What is the benefit? I actually think about this a lot where I'm like, okay, what is the actual benefit of AI on the consumer side? Maybe more Radiant quests, but even then, it's like we've been doing that with games since like 2011 with like Skyrim.
Because they're
So
trying to cut out like all the like remedial, like just like the basic stuff that they don't want to have like pay for someone to do, like all the I don't want to call them basic stuff, but like ground floor level stuff. So like
yeah,
just random quests, dialogue of NPCs and whatnot. So they're in their mind, it's like, well, if we can get all of this and we can just cram more into it, it's the bloating problem all over again, which is with a new skin. So they're just going to want to get these kind of games and just cram all this in there because we can just generate it and it'll take a quarter of the time. So that's how they think they see it. Now for the consumer, it's like, no, we don't want all this bloat.
yeah. I mean, it's more of a thing, Moon, of just like there's no benefit on the consumer side, and the only benefit for them is like, oh, well, we don't have to pay as many employees. That's good. But then you actually look into a lot of the stuff. It's like they're actually paying a lot of money for these AI models, and like these AI generated games theoretically cost more than like just a normal human produced one. So it gets to a point where it's like this actually just benefits no one. This is just a useless like middle ground for everyone to sink their money into. And that's always kind of like my like hope with AI is it still hasn't made money. Like it's still not making any money. And I feel like eventually shareholders and investors are going to go, why are we putting money into this? Now, they're very stupid, so maybe they're just going to keep feeding the lies from the Sam Altman types. But I don't know. I think eventually people are going to like wise up and go, yeah, there's like this is just a money pit. We have gained nothing from this, like truly. Keep getting told about like, oh, GPT 5.5, GPT 6.0 is going to be even more like advanced, and now people are going to be is like, okay, what's that advanced model even going to make us more money? And then people are eventually going to wise up and go, yeah, we're out. We're not putting more money into this pit.
Yeah, that's the only like silver line you could think of is when capitalism actually works in your benefit. It's when they realize, oh, we're losing money on this, they'll ditch it.
Yep, 100%. That's the hope, really. But who knows?
The
It's hard.
problem is, though, a lot of these AI circles are just like a self-feeding circle, so it's like,
Yeah.
will they actually realize that?
Hopefully by like the 2030 we could just forget about this AI business, or at the very least just have it be like, hey, it's just a part of us, but it's not intrusive on the arts. I don't need AI generated passengers in music. Okay, that's all I'll say.
I mean, at the very least, this is I'll only just scraping the bottom of the barrel, but at least it's labeled, and it's like
Yeah,
a
but even
separate.
Genuinely, I wonder if it would have been if Stella hadn't come out and said all this. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder if they'd have got to launch and like labeled it very last minute, or just not at all
Yeah,
until people like called them out on it.
yeah, because stuff like that only happens when they get called out.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
mean, like Crimson
I mean,
still doesn't. I don't think doesn't have the AI label, or at least it didn't last time I checked. And like they got called out for ages ago. So I don't
remember.
know.
I think there was a thing where they removed it, but like I don't know if
I
it's
think it's still in there. Like
is it?
from last I heard, like they still haven't patched it out.
I mean, I could
Uh,
check. That'd be weird
oh,
if they did.
they have added the disclosure now. Last
Oh,
time I
okay.
checked, they hadn't, but they have added it now. So at least they've added it, I suppose. Only took them a few
Thank you,
months.
Crimson Desert. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Honestly, Jack, if you guys would, if they would just be honest and say, like, listen, guys, this part is AI generated, or like we used AI for this part, that's like one thing. But also, I mean, you've noted this. It's like Steam's AI disclosure is way less flexible now. And now it's like, yeah, you can't just add AI and not have to inform Steam about it. And it's like,
That's the
Exactly, and like
downside, is that you don't have to, and honestly, it's
yep,
kind of surprising how many are admitting to it.
exactly. Yeah, well, that sucks. Shout out to AI. Thank you, Sam Altman. I appreciate it. Let's talk about a fun one. Darksiders 4, this is from Shinobi, is planned to release in financial year 27 to 28 between April 2027 to March 2028. So looking around next year, maybe the following year, depending on if it gets delayed or something. We'll see. Uh, Sounds great for Darksiders fan. I've never played Darksiders, so I don't have any opinion on it. You guys, any interest?
I purchased the entire trilogy when it was like $13 on Steam, so I have them, and I remember I played, I think, the first one just a bit, but I kind of just lost interest. So I'm determined to at least try.
All right, that's cool. Jack?
I played the first one. I haven't played the other two. This is being made by the developers of the third game. But the last game they made was Remnant 2, which by all accounts was apparently
Oh
really
yeah,
good. So
yeah. I heard really
hopefully
good things about
it's
that.
pretty great. I don't know. In the same report, they also mentioned Dead Island 3, or what we assume is Dead Island 3, and the untitled Kingdom Come, possibly spin-off, probably a spin-off, no one
Yeah,
really knows. Is also supposed to be in the next financial year, so it does sound like they've got quite a lot coming, which is
yeah.
interesting.
I'm glad you brought that up. THQ Nordic. I mean, listen, we talked so much shit about the Embracer Group, rightfully so. They seem to kind of come around, and they're like, okay, listen, guys, we're not AAA, but like we're gonna stick in this AA space. And I think if they just stick around this area, they're doing pretty well for themselves, in my opinion.
I think you'll find it's Fellowship Entertainment that are
My
doing all
apologies.
these.
Yes, yes.
But
Fellowship
please do not.
Entertainment, the goats.
My
What
favorite company.
was it one of them at one point called Middle Earth and Friends or
Yeah,
something like
this is
that?
that one. This is that one
Oh,
that got
oh
renamed.
yeah, yeah, they renamed. God, they should have sticked it to Middle Earth and Friends, because it's like, what the fuck do you mean and Friends?
Yeah, that's so good. I love that.
Awesome team. But yeah, no, I mean everything you said there sounds. I mean, Dead Island 3, that's actually pretty surprising how quick of a turnaround. But also, I mean, like, I guess Dead Island 2 is like what, 2023. So
I think
I
so. Yeah.
guess it would be around the time for a sequel.
Yeah, and it does sound like that they got right on that, because Dead Island 2 did do pretty
It
well
did
by all
very well.
accounts.
It is
I'm sure.
surprisingly well considering how long it was in development now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wonder what the budget for that game is. I'd love to see the numbers one day, like through all the versions of it, add them
Yeah,
all up together and see how much that cost.
I'm curious because I think that switched publishers a lot. So I wonder if like just a lot of that money was just sunk and like they never got their money back. But like when THQ Nordic put it up, with Dam Buster, it's like, oh, it's like basically most of it's done. Like it's actually not that much funding.
I think Deep Silver was the publisher all the way through.
Oh yeah,
because they published the first game and finally published, but I know it went through at least 3 developers.
Yeah,
so
Sumo had it at one point. The current one was Dam Buster.
Yeah, there was another one in between. I think was it Tencent Studio? I can't remember the name of them. Gonna bother me, but
the Dead Island 2 story will always be one of my favorites because it's just like it's one of those things, Jack, where it's like this is the game that took a long time, the game where you go around killing zombies. That's where it's like, we can't figure this out. Like I always think about that. I'm like, why did this one take so long? Like,
yeah,
Beyond Good and Evil 2, I'm at least like the way they were selling it, I'm like, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense, but also it's like, why is this taking so long? But I guess I could kind of hear it as like, oh, we're building a universe and there's so many things. And it's like, sure. Which, by the way, I saw that little headline, Jack. Correct me if I read it wrong. They're renaming Beyond Good and Evil 2, or they're thinking about renaming it with a re-reveal. And it's like, dude, just
possibly.
we gotta put this game out to pasture. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like I wonder what it even looks like now. Like, is it more just like the first game where it's less ambitious than all the versions they've teased? I don't even know. So,
what if they re-revealed it and it was like a Tetris-like? Like it just plays like Tetris. It's like, what the fuck happened? What was going on?
It would like, hell yeah, more money than what it would otherwise.
Yeah, I'd be 10 times more interested. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll play Tetris. Let's move into our next story. This is a sad one. This is from Steven Totillo over at GameFile. Netflix to shut down 2 more game studios. Netflix is sticking with video games, but once again reducing the number of studios it owns making games. The streaming giant is closing Los Angeles-based Night School Studio, which it acquired in 2021, and plans to close Helsinki-based Moonlot, which was founded in 2022. Just 6 weeks ago, Night School had released Unhinged, a novel 30-minute first-person horror game streamable on TVs to Netflix users. The game was hailed by Netflix co-CEO Greg Peters in a call with investors, citing really solid numbers. 6 weeks later, Night School is closing. Prior to its Netflix tenure, Night School, yada yada yada. They were the Oxenfree developers. And then Netflix attributed the studio closure. Wait, there was another. I'm trying to find the other studio. Okay, whatever. The other studio we talked about, the Moonlot, who didn't release a game yet. So they acquired them and then they just didn't release anything. I don't really understand Netflix's strategy anymore. Of just like, oh, we're releasing games on a streaming service and kind of sending them out to die because I mean, I'll tell you, I didn't not hear about this game at all. There was 0 advertisements around it whatsoever. And it's just like, why are you guys even trying to get into games if you're not even going to actually try? That's what frustrates me the most.
I think what it's just coming down to is they're going to go like the Disney route or some other service, and it's just going to be like how they have Red Dead on there right now. Is they're just going to partner with it. Like they'll still see the games, as they say, like we still see games as an investment, but it's like, no, you're just going to license and just make deals with other companies to get their games. You're not going to go out and make them yourselves because you don't want to risk the money, because you just saw what it now takes to make a game under your own umbrella and put it out, and it didn't do anything.
Apparently cited really solid numbers, so it apparently did something. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like we talk all the shit we want about like the big 3 and Steam and all that, but then we think about these streaming giants like Amazon and Netflix getting to games. It's like, actually, I'll take the other 3. I'll take the actual like game studios and whatnot, because Netflix and Amazon truly don't know anything about games.
Like Amazon could because of just the way they can manage stuff, but they just don't seem to get the right people at all.
Well, that's the thing. That's the problem. Is they're trying and then they give up immediately. Where it's like, oh, we're hiring the CEO of games, and then we got rid of him. And it's like, what? What are you doing? Like, why are you even trying anything? You know, we're putting all this money into the studio. We're done.
Yeah, you're suddenly not making. What do you mean we're not making Fortnite money?
It's I think that's it, really. It's just that there's this expectation. It's like, oh, you're gonna release a game, we'll get Fortnite money. You'll get a new game out in 2 years. It's like games take a while. You guys gotta stick with them, or else nobody's gonna care. And it's like
that's the other problem. I mean, that goes back to the whole other problem that we've been talking about. Is just all these companies just want to keep making the bigger and better game, and it's like, no, like we can have some, small AA games and stuff like that. So it's too many people trying to chase after the same thing.
100%. Let's get into the reviews of the week and previews of the week. We got a lot of those. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls sitting at an 86 on OpenCritic. At one point it was like at like a 91, and Bob got it for his fantasy team. So I'm like, oh no, we can't let the guy who used the ChatGPT to generate his team to win. So we got to make sure this doesn't work out for him. So it went down to 86, which I think is much more kind of in line with how I've been viewing everything. IGN 9 out of 10. Tom's Guide, my boys over at Tom's Guide, 4.5 out of 5. DualShockers a 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Game Rant. 9 out of 10 from Push Square. Very high scores across the board. People are very into it. I did see there was a lot of issues with the PC version, specifically just like in terms of net code and a lot of stuttering, some crashes. Seems like those problems got ironed out a lot in a recent patch, but overall, it seems like it's like, hey, if you want to play this, it's probably best to just play it on PlayStation. Moon, I know you played the beta. Did you jump on the final release yet?
No, I don't play. I've watched 3 out of the 5 story modes, and I'm just like, I just can't be. It just doesn't seem like the money kind of investment for me to drop $60, play 5 hours worth of gameplay, get my ass handed to me in maybe 1 to 2 online matches, and be like, I'm done. Especially because now the sentiment seems to be, it's a hard to figure out fighting game. Like, this is not for the casuals, even though it was touted as like, oh, we're going to be very casual friendly, and in certain ways, from the people who I know who play fighting games talk about it, it is. But once you break that beginner level surface of just smashing buttons, there's a whole thing about it, and everyone's just like, yeah, this game just isn't for me. Now, granted, some people are saying this might just be the Marvel Rivals crowd picking up a fighting game for the first time and complaining. But I don't know. I think there is definitely something to the whole where this is for like high-end fighting game people only. It's an exclusive club.
Yeah, it seems like the big thing that's like really I don't want to say deterring people, but like getting people of the high, it's like, oh, this is like way more difficult to figure out, is the 4v4 aspect. You don't necessarily have to use all 4 characters, you could just use one, but it's like managing your assists and like all that stuff seems to be pretty difficult for a lot of people to really get hammered into. I'm into it just from a stylistic viewpoint. I'm just not really the big fighting game guy, especially these type of games are just so difficult for me. So I'm just sitting here like, I'm excited to watch Maximilian Dude play it a lot, and like listen to his thoughts and see the DLC characters and go like, yo, that's hype. But that's about it. It seems to have a very dedicated fan base, at least, which I'm curious to see how it looks like a few months down the line.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it at Evo and other things like that, but I just personally am not dropping $60 on this for something that I will never touch. And like I said, I've already watched 3 out of the 5 story mode cutscenes, and they're all great cutscenes. Like, this actually has some decent writing for a story, fighting game story. So I need to watch the other 2, and they're longer than I thought. So shout out to getting over an hour in each team story. So like I said, shout out to that. But yeah, I'm not touching this. I want to spend my money on things I'm actually going to play.
We got to play. What's the next game? It's like Resonance and Star Wars at the same day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got those.
I think those are the next games coming out. Sucks. I'm gonna skip both of them. I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna be useless until like September 3rd with Onimusha. But yeah, cool game, Marvel Tokon. I'm glad it's doing well though. Let's talk about the previews of the week though. We got 2 big previews, a lot of preview events happening, and I thought these 2 were the most interesting. There was also one I'll shout out real quick for Star Wars Zero Company. That game looks really cool. It's not my type of game, so I don't know if I'm gonna jump into it. But Jack, you're a big Star Wars guy. You jumping on that?
I wasn't. I was going to pick it up at some point. I wasn't really looking at day one. I was like, I've got too much else to play. But honestly, these previews are saying a lot more on it. So I don't know. It could. I'm going to wait and see if EA does anything to ruin it. But if they haven't, then yeah, I probably will pick this up after I finish Resonance.
They always find a way.
Yeah, I don't want to have too much faith.
You start up the game and it's just like, would you like to create your AI generated character? It's like, what? They didn't say anything about this in the previews or reviews. Just shocks you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the previews for Marvel's Wolverine. So Okami Games put this up. 60 FPS with ray tracing by default on base PS5. Mission Replay and New Game Plus will be available at launch. Story is receiving a lot of praise. Which, by the way, story written by the same guy who did Spec Ops: The Line, which I heard a lot of great things about that narrative. Basic attacks consist of claws, powerful kicks, and parries. There are also special abilities like the Tornado Spin and Knee Breaker. Time trials called Nightmare Trials accessed by Nightmare Doors. I love comic book stuff because it's so corny.
It's so dumb.
I love it. I love the corny. Attacks build up your rage meter, which has 3 tiers. Each tier unlocks new combat abilities and significantly more powerful attacks. Tier 2 unlocks Last Stand. Tier 3 unlocks Critical Strike. Some fights will have team-up combos with Mystique or Sabretooth at your side. Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Mystique are part of a 3-person team known as Team X, led by Nathaniel Essex. Use enhanced senses to track enemies and stealth. Wolverine has different outfits and claw types. You can explore Lowtown and chat with allies like Jean Grey and Mystique at the Princess Bar, a sort of hub area. Discover hidden crates with upgrade materials and secret collectibles. Logan can leap between enemies to close the gaps. Enemies are very aggressive. And Insomniac reiterates that Wolverine is the only playable character, releasing on the 15th of September on PS5. People seem to be pretty high on this. There seems to be some good buzz around it. I will say, for myself, I look at this and I'm like, I played this. not like a really aggressive, like I don't care, but I'm just like, yeah, this looks exactly what I was expecting it to look like. It looks like a Wolverine game, so with the Sony skin, which I'll admit for myself, it's starting to wear off on me a lot. I didn't really care for Saros, didn't even finish Yote. I'm just like, more and more of these games, I'm like wondering, I'm like, when is it gonna reach the point where I'm like, I'm gonna skip this game? Because I've never really skipped a big Sony first party game that wasn't Marathon, but that doesn't count. I am jumping onto this game, but I'm like not really like chomping at the bit for it personally.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw our conversation this morning with Bop and how there seems to be a negative streak happening online with this game, saying it seems like every other AAA action game right now. Like there's nothing, to use the overused phrase, nothing reinventing the wheel. And not like games need to reinvent the wheel every time, but it feels like there is nothing that big about it that's like, okay, here's what's separating it from everything else. And people are comparing, like, because you see in the video, like the fight against the Sentinel, which is your standard big body boss that you just chip away at their arms at. So it is interesting to see that. I kind of had like a gut feeling, like ever since we saw our first look at Wolverine, I'm just like, oh yeah, it just looks like your standard action game. So it's both like disappointing and reinvigorating that I kind of like picked up on that right away. But it is disappointing. It's like, oh, this is what Insomniac has now decided what they want to do. And I think that's what's driving the more negative reactions that people are seeing now, is the fact that it is Insomniac Games and they're just now churning out this bog standard action game so far. But it's also like, it's Insomniac, so hopefully there's something in there that they're just not showing because they don't want to give it away. But at the same time, I'm kind of fearing that it will be. It's like, it's a bad thing, but it's like we've gone through these motions before, and it kind of, thankfully, it's reinforcing that I can wait until like December for this. I don't have to rush, especially with everything else that's happening that exact same week.
There's a lot. There's a lot of games coming out around that time. It's pretty tough.
So look forward to my thoughts on Wolverine in December.
That's the thing. It's like, I'm a big like Insomniac fan. It's just like, it feels like the thing that they've always landed for me personally, man, is just like they have like the best gameplay loops. Like I love playing Spider-Man, that gameplay loop. I love the Ratchet game.
Like I enjoyed like, as much as people hate on Spider-Man 2, and I'll agree with some points, but the gameplay was awesome.
The gameplay's awesome. Yeah, they've always been good at gameplay. Story, hit or miss, but I really like the Spider-Man 1 story. Spider-Man 2, It's a game.
It's a game.
It's a game. Yeah, I like I like Miles in that game. But yeah, they've always been good at gameplay though, and it's just that it's that thing of like looking at Wolverine. I'm like not inspired by any of the gameplay decisions I see here, and it's not like a thing of like, oh, this is gonna be bad. I bet it's gonna be great. I'm just like I always with Insomniac games, I'm like, what's the thing that really separates this gameplay loop from like other studios' gameplay loops? They've always been like just so strong at that loop. But I look at Wolverine, I'm like, oh, it's that thing where it's like, hey, make me a Wolverine game. This is probably what it would have like looked like in my head, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just yeah, fair enough. Like I would have wanted to be a bit more surprised. Maybe I'm being too negative. Maybe when the game comes out, I'm gonna play it. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. This is awesome. But just right now, I'm not like chomping at the bit for this one. Yeah. Jack, I actually don't know. What's your thoughts on the? I don't actually know. Are you a big Wolverine guy?
No, but I'm a big Insomniac guy, so I am very much looking forward to this.
Nice. You just it's a day one for you.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, it looks good. Like I was saying in the Discord, like
combat us, Jack. Tell us how stupid we are.
No, it's look, it does look generic. Like I will say that it looks like a Sony game, and I probably would have preferred something a little bit different, but it still looks a lot of fun. So I don't really care.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it like doesn't look not fun. It just seems more like, yeah, this is just what I expected it to be. So it's like I'll get to it, but I'm not like I said rushing for it because there's if Wolverine came out in a space that was like, yeah, there's like nothing else for another 2 weeks, I probably would have picked it up and just be like, yeah, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it is surrounded by so many other things and it is because it looked so I'm using it as a derogatory term, but I promise I'm not bog standard that I'm just like, this can wait. That's the problem is that an Insomniac game looks like this can wait to me only because everything else around it is just so much bigger. It seems like because you have not only the game of that week of like Fire Emblem and others, but just also the like the following week in early October, we have so much other stuff too. It just kept falling down the ladder.
That's the thing, Jack. I think this is going to review just fine. Like, I think people are going to be into it. I think it's just like a personal thing with like, this isn't really what I'm looking for in a game right now. But also, it's like maybe by next month, I'm like, no, actually, I'm in the mood for something like this. And I am just like day one, like, oh, I'm hyped. I'm going to pick it up. I always pick up Insomniac games usually. So it's just the guarantee of like, when am I going to play it? But yeah, it's like you said, Jack, still looks fun. Still looks fun to just slash dudes with the Wolverine. Like it's hard to argue that fantasy isn't like exciting.
Yeah, again, like I understand the criticisms, but like all the September games, this is the one I'm the most interested in. So it's quite easy for me to be like, yeah, day one.
Speak your shit, bro.
Did I even finish my sentence where I said because of all the other stuff coming out, like if it wasn't there, I would have picked up Wolverine day one just because it's an Insomniac game. But like I said, because it's surrounded by so many other things, I'm not. And that's the only reason why.
Well, one of those things, Boone, is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
Hell yeah.
It had the direct last week, which we talked about, me and Bob. But then this week we got previews for this Stealth 40K put this up. Most ambitious Fire Emblem ever. Huge game. I love how that's a bullet point. Each of the 4 main leads are interesting and unique. Mini characters to recruit. Relationship building, unlock support conversations. Daxion is a very large hub area with lots to do. Sci-fi elements, 1 save file. Presentation is the best in the series. Fantastic strategy RPG combat. With so much content, the game might be overwhelming for some. Now, Moon, you don't like big. But for Fire Emblem, I hear you'll make an exception.
Yeah, just because I can handle big, it just depends on how you're able to just wade your way through all of the bigness of it. Yeah, to justify it. And does it flow nicely? Like Ghost of Yote was a pretty big game with a lot of stuff on the map, but the way it was broken down into subcategories of like this is this is this, and the fact that each thing didn't take so long to do kind of helped. So it all depends on how it's managed.
But yeah,
but I think with
jumping
this,
on?
especially with the whole the way that you can go across all 4 characters' stories and one big save file, the fact you don't have to play this game 4 different times is a big plus. Because if it's a giant game and you got to play it 4 different times for each character, that's a different story. I would have just been like, all right, my one playthrough, I'm good. But the fact that you can just do all of this in one go is going to be very interesting to see. And I'm curious to see how what's because it's 4 different stories. I'm assuming 4 different timelines based on the character that you pick. So does that mean with like the recruitable characters and the side quests, do I have to do each side quest and recruit each character as each of the main characters, or does it just apply to everyone, or are certain ones only with certain characters? I don't know. There's too many what ifs right now.
Yeah, it's
But
weird because this is like there's a lot of like information overload with all the previews, but it seems like you're gonna be able to play a lot. You're gonna have a lot of content to sift through.
But yeah, thankfully, so I'm just gonna be stuck on this game for like 2-3 weeks. Sorry to every other game.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that week or that month, but yeah, it seems like this game's gonna be taking a lot of free time from everyone who jumps into it. I'm excited. I do love me some Fire Emblem. I'm not chomping at the bit for this one either. Maybe I just don't like games anymore. I kind of realized that. Jack, I think I'm gonna start becoming like you and just replay Skyrim. But no, in all seriousness, I am very much excited for this game. I am curious how it will follow up on a lot of the ideas that were presented in Three Houses. Because Engage was such an in-betweener that I just was not into. It seems like this game's going to be way more like the Three Houses sequel we expected. But yeah, shout out to Fire Emblem. Jack, you're not a Fire Emblem guy at all, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay, just wanted to make sure.
Maybe one day.
He'll be our Trails coverage while we're all playing Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, you got us right there.
Oh yeah, big remake fan, big Trails fan. That's the game for me.
Yep. Let's talk about. I have a topic for you guys. I actually got a game planned. Not a game, but like kind of a tier thing. What do you guys think of video game names? You go to a store, you look at the name of a game.
Oh, yeah.
I have a tier list here. I have about 20 games franchises here. Maybe more depending on how fast we go. But I basically separated them, and I have a tier list of like peak name, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. And I just want you to know, it's like just the name, separating yourself from the actual franchise, but just the name of the game. It's like, is this a good title for a game? Or a good title for the franchise?
Oh yeah. So anything that it starts with the Adventures of Blank, put in F tier.
And all Square Enix games, let me tell you a secret, those are going to be an F tier. I don't have any of those set up, but I don't know if they might have it. For example, let's start. Super Mario. I'm a big Mario guy. Having said that, I put this in a C tier. I think this is a baseline where it's like, this isn't very descriptive. It's just the guy's name. It tells you it's like, this is about Mario and how super he is. And really from there, it's like, okay, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Galaxy. But like just the baseline Super Mario. How do we think about that?
I think C is about right because it is, at least it stands out, like, and especially back then where you were kind of selling your premise of the game based on like, we're gonna make this cool character. His name's Super Mario. So you have that aspect which works. And of course, as we saw with like sequels and later on, it's definitely a good baseline to throw on a subtitle, Odyssey, Galaxy, and all that. So yeah, I think while not immediately grabbing it, it was like future proof.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack, you cool with that?
Yeah, I think C is about right. It sounds like the Super Nintendo version of Mario Brothers, and it wasn't. It was the first game, so it's a bit weird.
Yeah. It's fun, yeah. Because the original was like Mario Bros, and now it's like, it's super. I love
I
that.
forgot about that.
Jack, this one's for you then. The Legend of Zelda.
It does have aura, I'm afraid. It does have aura.
I think my one thing is it being The Legend of Zelda. Everyone calls him Zelda. Everyone calls Link Zelda. It's a little confusing.
That is fair. And again, it was only ever supposed to be the title of the first game, which was a subtitle. The original name was going to be the Hyrule Fantasy. So, with that being said, look, it's not an S tier. I'm not going to pretend it's an S tier.
Mm-hmm.
I would say A. If you want to say B, I would hear B, but I would say A personally.
I have no problem with A or B. Boone, how do you feel?
I think B, just because it does have that like confusing factor of why it created the meme of the character's name is Zelda. It's like no, especially back then when you sold your game on the fact that it was like you were naming your games after your main character because you wanted to establish a new character. So the fact that they weren't the main character is kind of just like okay. So I would say low B if we were ranking like in slots. I'd say probably like low B.
I can go with a B. I will say, like, personally, I think a good anagram is what you need for a perfect franchise name, and Tloz is a great anagram.
That is a good anagram.
Yeah, I think my one thing, Jack, I don't love titles that are like really long, and when you start adding the subtitles, it's like The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time. There's aura to it, but it's also like everyone just says Ocarina of Time. You know, they don't say The Legend of Zelda part. And I wonder if does that take away from a name if you don't say like the main part of the franchise title, you just say the subtitle?
If anything, okay, I'll give Legend of Zelda credit. This is the fact you're so name brand that you don't even have to say the name of the franchise. You could just say the subtitle and people know what you're talking about. That's also a good showing of them naming the subtitles of their games instead of just doing Legend of Zelda 1, 2, 3, and then but they gave each one like a distinct name, so it's like good marketing, good choices on Nintendo's part for thinking about that franchise.
Yeah, and when they did try to shorten it to just Zelda 2, it didn't have the aura.
Yeah,
it needs the full name.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
I think with Zelda 2, I think with Zelda 2, it kind of even drives home the whole, wait, what do you mean the main character's not name is Zelda? Even more obvious.
Yeah, really. This is like, this is Zelda's second adventure. Let's talk about Pokemon. Shortened from Pocket Monsters. I think this is a great name because you don't have to say Pocket Monsters, you say Pokemon, and it rolls off the tongue really well. I think the one problem is the E accent.
Yeah,
because a lot of people always have trouble. What is it? Is it Pokemon, 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 and it's Pokemon, which sounds way worse than Pokemon.
It does make it annoying when you're trying to type it on like a shop. If you're like on a website to buy a game, a lot of the time, sometimes they accept the accent exclusively, and sometimes they don't accept it at all. It's just like it's a pain. Sometimes you have to like jump between the two. I think the accent does lower it, but like not much. It's still a great name.
It only lowers it because it's such a technical hurdle with, like searching on websites and whatnot. But the fact that you are cool enough to have like the accent E, I think kind of raises it, at least from a naming standpoint. Yes, it's annoying for us consumers, but I think from a naming standpoint, it kind of works in its favor.
How about A?
I'd say A personally. Yeah, A.
Yeah, A.
That's perfect. Okay, Grand Theft Auto. Now, Jack, what you were saying earlier about anagrams, GTA, which is very funny because it's the same amount of syllables, but it's still like everyone just says GTA, which I think is awesome. And honestly, having the game about crime, the title just be a crime, I think that's aura.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. Yeah, it's pretty good naming scheme.
It is funny that Grand Theft Auto isn't a crime in the game, though. Like, it's just like...
Oh, yeah, because they can't get you for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that is very funny.
But, dude, listen, man, this is the corniest thing ever. In GTA 5, when they allowed the police chatter to come out of, like, your controller speaker if you're playing the PS4 version, and they would say, Grand Theft Auto on 4th Street. I'm like, oh, they said the name of the game! Like, that's the corniest thing ever, but I always got hyped for that. I'd put it in peak name if y'all are cool with it.
I would go with A.
I would go A as well, personally.
Okay, that's fair. I'd put it above Pokemon at least.
Oh, that's...
I think Pokemon's only higher because it's more original, where they took... Like, they could have just named the franchise Pocket Monsters, but no, they said, that's fair, you know what, let's give it an original name. So the fact they actually came up with an original name, I think, deserves a little bit higher.
No, you're right.
But I do like that the Grand Theft Auto games used Roman numerals from 3 onwards. That
Yeah,
does
the
give it
numerals.
even more aura, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but then it's just like random because it's like GTA 3 and then Vice City. It's like, oh,
That's true.
and then
That's
San
true.
Andreas, and then we go back to Roman numerals with 4, and it's like, it's a little confusing. So yeah, you know what? You guys convinced me. Below Pokemon. Okay, what about this one? Street Fighter. They're fighting on the streets.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
exactly what it
definitely
says.
it's exactly what it is, and street fighting I think is like the term for like if police were reporting it's like we got some street fighting going on, so it
Yeah.
falls under that kind of. So I think it works. It's definitely it is what it is, but also it's short enough to where because when you have that like 2-word name franchise and it works, you're definitely onto something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so maybe like a high B or low A.
I think
Man, I don't think this is better than Zelda though.
I'd put it below Zelda. Yeah.
I think it's my own personal hatred of the legend of the adventure of. Maybe I would put Street Fighter above Zelda.
That's
My
fair,
argument to
and
that is
it
I
is a good
think
name.
I think Zelda has earned the legend of, whereas like the Adventures of Elliot, it's like you didn't earn that. You don't
No,
get to be named that.
Oh yeah,
You just got here.
that's my other point. Like Legend of Zelda is the only one that's allowed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's below Zelda, but like right below it. Because I'm not inspired by Street Fighter. That's kind of my thing, where I'm just like, yeah, it's just Street Fighter. The anagram is just SF, which is like, no one says SF, they just say Street Fighter. So I think you lose that point.
Well, the only reason they're
I put it
shortening
below
Legend of Zelda is because of how long the Legend of is to say. Like you
Yeah,
don't
but that's
need
the
to
thing
shorten
is like,
Street Fighter.
but that's the thing. You don't really need to shorten Grand Theft Auto, or like
No,
GTA is
that's
the
three
same
words.
amount of
That's 3
syllables.
words. That's 3 full words though.
Yeah, that's fair. But like but it's still like, I guess it's like if you're writing it, it's way quicker to just put GTA. Whereas
Yeah.
like when you're talking about it, you could just say Grand Theft Auto. It's the same amount. We're getting really into the knee deep in this, which is exactly what I wanted this topic to be. I'm glad we're getting
But
really.
if I'm
deep into
outvoted, I'll accept. If I'm outvoted, I'll accept that Legend of Zelda is higher than Street Fighter.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd put it, and I think Jack, you're with that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, The Last of Us. I think that's a
Like
good name.
CD.
Oh
Really?
wow! Well,
I'm-
exact opposite spectrums. I really love this name.
Yeah, I like the name
mean-
as well.
I like it in the terms of it catches your eye. It's like, what do you mean it's The Last of Us? But it tells us nothing about it.
Yeah, they tell
I
you
don't
it's the apocalypse. That's a apocalyptic title, The Last of Us.
And it really isn't The Last of Us because there's still a lot of people out there. Granted, it's definitely a lot less than what it usually is, but
That's like we're getting too facetious there. There's quite a few of you actually.
I'm also a big fan of the name. Until you put part 1 at the end of it when they renamed it.
Yeah,
that annoys me.
that ruins it.
That's a
Yeah,
stupid
'cause
name. But
that shit Neil said is like it's a 2-part story. It's like shut up. Just call it Last of Us 2. Just call it Last of. No one says The Last of Us Part 2. They say Last of Us 2. But
well, it's funny is I see more people just say Part 2. They don't say The Last of Us.
it does have a good anagram as well, Tlu. I like it when
Tlu.
people put type
Yeah,
Tlu.
I like it. What if we a B tier just as like the middle.
B's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we could put it below Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. Super Smash Brothers. I don't like this name.
Yeah, it's cool and when you have like the aura of the series behind it, but from a standpoint of you're just ripping off of the name of Mario because you're like it has Mario in it.
But it's a thing of like nothing about that title tells me this is a Nintendo crossover.
Yeah.
If I just saw the title, I'd be like, oh, it's just like a fighting game. It was like, oh no, this is the Nintendo fighting game.
Well, I think with the Bros in it, you hint at that. It's like, oh, it is Nintendo because they made their name of Mario Bros.
They're also very inconsistent with it, though, because sometimes they say Super Smash Brothers, and it's like that's the technical full title. So then it's like, oh, we're just brothers in arms or something. Like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it personally.
I'm glad we didn't do this with Mario because if you'd added Bros at the end of Mario, I think it would have knocked it down a bit. Whereas you just with Super Mario, it's not too bad. So with this, it has to be Super Smash Brothers, and that does knock it down.
I'd honestly argue D. I'm not a fan of this name at all.
Yeah.
I think D's
Is-
fair because it has
It's got a
some
good anagram.
source. Yeah,
SSB.
I wouldn't put it any lower than D, but D is probably where I'd
Oh,
put
D
it.
is the lowest tier. So
Oh, that's fine then. We don't have any bad names.
Okay. When I said Last of Us is D, I thought F was the lowest.
no, D is the lowest. So yeah. Okay, let's talk about. Oh, this was a fun one. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, this is a good one. This is
a good one.
The
Just
fact
because,
they put everything with a K.
yeah.
That's what makes it stand out. So I would say like high B or low A.
I'd put
Honestly,
it in
what
A
we
as well,
should
I
do.
think.
Yeah, I think we just put all the stuff in A. We don't even think about S tier yet, and then by the end we can figure out like, okay, what's the peak names here? So like we'll just think of A as the highest, unless like there's one where we're like, no, this is without question peak name.
What's the highest we have so far?
Pokemon. That's the highest.
I like Mortal Kombat more than Pokemon personally.
I agree. I'm with you. There's like an aura to it.
I don't know. If anything, I would put it like right below Pokemon.
I can accept that, right below Pokemon.
I'm fine with
Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon's like
Pokemon's riding the
such an
high
IP.
of the Pokemon's riding the high of the fact that they created their own word. Like all Mortal Kombat, it was just replace the C with a K.
Thing is, though,
I can.
And I guess this would move more towards like the franchise and like the games as a whole. I just love how far they go with the K, where like every word with a C is a K in Mortal Kombat. Where it's like instead of like crash, it's K crash with a K, which is just like I love that.
And again, another good anagram. MK is a good anagram.
MK is a top tier anagram, yeah.
Yeah, I think just below Pokemon.
I'm fine with that
personally.
Yeah. Moon, this is a big one for you. BioShock. I love that.
I mean, it's definitely good, but it's not representative of the series. So, but it stands out as a like, what is a BioShock? So if it was like the phrase of like power-ups or something like that, maybe it would probably be a bit better. But I do think it's on the lower end just because of it doesn't really explain anything.
The thing,
so it's just a cool name.
The thing I'll argue is that this was kind of the spiritual successor to System Shock, which I think that's just a fun, like going from System Shock to BioShock. I like that a lot, but
I think that definitely does raise it.
It doesn't necessarily like explain what it is, I guess. But I feel like there's always like some franchises where like there's a cool mystique to just not saying exactly what you are, just BioShock.
Yeah, and when you come up with an original, when you come up with a almost original name, that does give something to it. So I don't know. I think it could be pretty high, like maybe in the B's.
I think B is fun. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I think B is good. Again, it being one word is another good thing about it. Like if it was 2 words, I think it would lose a lot of points here. But 1 word BioShock is cool.
I'd put it above Street Fighter. Would you guys put it above Zelda?
I mean, I wouldn't, but Wolf,
I'd
break the tie.
Zelda personally. Yeah, I'd put it above Zelda.
Okay, that's fine.
Just personally, I really like the name BioShock. I just think it sounds awesome. Okay, let's do. Oh, this one's fun. Mass Effect. Here's the thing.
I'm not a big fan of this one personally.
Here's the thing I'll say, Jack. It's a thing in the games. That's literally how they do light travel is through Mass Effect, and it happens.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because it's at the very start of Mass Effect 1 where they're just like, and through like all this ingenuity, humans discovered a new way of travel, and then just Mass Effect, and I'm like, that's kind of aura. I feel like naming it after like the way they achieve light speed travel is like nerdy in a fun way.
Yeah, when you that's what I was saying with BioShock. Like if it was something within the game, it would be higher. So when you have like a unique thing that's to your game and you name it after that, that's cool. There was a game recently that just came out that it was the name of the series, but it was something within the game, and I can't remember what it was. But that is a high tier naming scheme for me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Mass Effect
the
was
word
just
ass in it.
I guess, but like that kind of adds to it. It's just you call it Ass Effect when you're like talking about like Miranda's ass or something.
So for a franchise to be high up, we need it to have good Rule 34 pages.
True. Yeah, that's a requirement. I mean, right now it's Pokemon and Mortal Kombat at the top, so those are up there.
Yeah, that's a
I don't know.
problem.
I hear you guys' points. I think it's at least a B.
Yeah. I hope not Mass Effect
I
has
have
something
to
to
put
do
my
with the
foot
fact
down
that
here. I don't think it can be above Zelda.
That's fair. No, I wouldn't put it above Zelda. I'm fine with that. I would put it maybe below Street Fighter, above Last of Us.
yeah.
Above Last of Us. Oh, if both
Last
of
of
you
Us
feel that way,
just
that's fine. Yeah.
Last of Us is just so what's the word I'm looking for? But it just feels like it could be on anything. It could be, granted, it is a TV show, but it also feels like it could be a TV show. It could be a movie. It could be so many other things. There's nothing about that kind of name that screams video game to me.
Yeah, that's a
I
fair
think that's
point because it's also
fair.
because like Legend of Zelda, if that was just like a movie, that wouldn't sound right. But like that sounds like a video game. That's a fair point.
I think Last of Us hasn't aged as well as it did. Like when it was first revealed, The
Yeah.
Last of Us was the coolest title in the world. I suppose, yeah, it hasn't aged as well, but yeah, if you both want to put it above Last of Us, fine.
Final Fantasy.
This is S for me. I'm sorry. This is a great name.
I do think it's definitely
It's
pushing the
cool.
SA area just because
I'm fine with this.
if you know the story behind why it's called that,
The
and
story isn't true, dude. I know exactly what story you're gonna
is
bring
it?
up.
Damn.
It's it was because the story Mood was gonna bring up was the it was gonna be like the last chance for Square Enix or for Square back in the day.
Not for Square,
To
but
be
for
able to put out a
but for
release.
the creator specifically,
Sakaguchi.
not just Square Enix.
Oh, Sakaguchi, yeah. But what was funny is like, no, actually, I think Sakaguchi himself said it's like that's not the story. We wanted to call it Fighting Fantasy, but unfortunately that was taken, so we had to go with Final, because they like the abbreviation of FF. But
And it's
I
a
mean,
good
honestly though,
abbreviation.
dude, the fact that that story works is kind of cool, and also, I mean, like abbreviation, yeah, FF, that's perfect because you could also like easily because you don't say Final Fantasy 7, most people just say FF7, and that just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Or like FF8, FF9, like that works. The Roman numerals within the titles too, Jack, as we were talking about with GTA, always good.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
man, I think
on like European and Japanese arts for like the PS1 games and everything, where it was just like completely blank apart from the name and a tiny little logo. It has so much aura. I'm sorry, this is probably one of the best, if not the best.
there's a mystical element to it. I think that adds a lot. Yeah, I think
There's definitely something with that whole final part of it that makes it more intriguing. That makes it stand out. So yeah, I think it might have to be an S.
Imagine if they had to call it Fighting Fantasy. Like the franchise should have just died there if they had.
Fighting Fantasy is horrible. All right, let's talk about Fallout.
That's good. It's a good name.
It's definitely good because it reflects on the fallout of civilization and all that. So, and it's short enough, and when you know that it's about the aftermath of nuclear warfare, it fits really well. So that in that regard, it does tell a lot about the story and in such a one word thing. Because Fallout really, even disregarding the games, when you talk about Fallout, it usually does have something to do with nuclear. Something along that line. You don't really hear Fallout too much outside of that. I mean, you do hear of like a fallout of a relationship, but that's less common than referring to a fallout of nuclear stuff.
And it's kind of a double entendre because like Fallout can also mean just like aftermath, and like that's what Fallout's about. It's about the aftermath of like from a nuclear standpoint, and also just the aftermath of like human civilization. So I put it at least an A.
Yeah,
I'd put it above GTA. Or Jack, what do you got?
I was gonna say, like, I think it's a great name. I don't know if I would put it that high personally, but if both of you are like, yeah, it should be, that's fine.
How about A, but like below? I'd put it above at least GTA. I'd put it below Mortal Kombat. I really like GTA, but like, I don't know. Fallout just has such a great descriptive, like, oh, this is what the franchise is about. Fallout. Like that just works for me.
Yeah.
I'll put it below GTA. I'm fine with that.
No, if both of you want it above GTA, then put it above GTA. I just personally, I would put this.
Would you put it?
I think I would put it above GTA just because the word Fallout just works on so many different levels than just naming it after a crime.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's my kind of viewpoint. I get it though. Okay. Well, let's see what else we got. A few more left. Resident Evil.
Is a great name.
I love
It's
that name.
stupid. When you actually think about it, it's funny. But
it's perfect because it's B-movie horror. Like that's a B-movie horror name.
Yeah.
And that's like what the whole franchise is like aped off of.
But like the actual name, like what does that mean? Resident Evil. Like,
Man, this resident sure is evil.
yeah, exactly. This is a spooky house.
That's kind of what makes it work, though. It's just like everyone makes fun of the name, like, oh, the residents here sure are evil. Like, there's like a fun around it too, which I think the whole franchise is about, just fucking around, having fun with like dumb zombie tropes, and also amazing anagram. RE.
It does have a good anagram,
RE4,
and I like that a
RE
lot of the. Yeah, I like that a lot of the titles do have the number in them.
Yeah,
like,
I put an A.
I think about Resident Evil. If we were doing specific games, like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard would be like one of like maybe an S tier, because just the fact that it has both names, it has the 7 in like 2 places. It's great. I love that.
Yeah, especially with like the VII in the title. Yeah, that's true. That's cool.
And like the Japanese version has like the Arabic numeral 7 through the Z. It's so good.
Yeah. That's the thing I'd add on is like Resident Evil has been fucking around with like the titles in that way. And like I know we're not doing specific names, but I think that adds to the franchise of like them experimenting a lot and fucking around like that.
The Japanese name is like more fitting for the franchise, but it makes more sense. But also like Resident Evil just have some aura. It's a tough one, that.
I put an A. I think A is fair.
A is fair, yeah.
It works.
A maybe above Fallout? Arguably?
I'd put it above Fallout. I wouldn't put it as high as Mortal Kombat, personally.
I think that's kind of where I'm sitting. What about you, man?
I guess, yeah. I guess it works.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would. I really do like the just multiple different meanings behind Fallout.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the thing that goes against Resident Evil is like, it we joke about it, but also it's like it doesn't mean anything. But like it's funny. I mean, I'm fine to put it below
name.
Fallout.
It's a name for the name's sake, but it's a fitting namesake.
Yeah, I'll put it below Fallout. I think I'm fine with that. Let's talk about my beloved Uncharted. I think it works.
Good name.
I wouldn't put it like lost cities, lost places. They're uncharted places.
It works for the singular word descriptor, but the fact you ever see those videos of like just how much of Uncharted is actually Uncharted, and it's actually not a lot of it because you're spending a lot of time in cities and whatnot.
Yeah, but like the main place you're going to is Uncharted, like the Atlantis of the Sands or something. Like that's Uncharted. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it works. It's a very good name.
It's a good name for the fact that it does give you the idea of, oh yes, this is a series about treasure hunting and going to lost places and stuff like that, and it does all that with one word. So in that regard, it is a very good name.
Especially with this, every game in the series has a subtitle, even the first one. And I think especially Among Thieves, like that's like peak in my opinion. Yeah, I'd put it.
Yeah, it's not as good as Sly though. Sly did the thieves thing better, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you're right. That's Honor Among Thieves. That was kind of that's Aura.
Yeah.
How about
Thieves in Time? I would say B. I wouldn't put it like as high as some of the others in B though, personally.
I mean, I'd put it above Last of Us.
Would you? Again, I like Last of Us, but okay, that's fair.
Above Last of Us, below Mass Effect. That work for you, man?
I would put it above Last of Us.
Yeah.
Below Mass Effect.
Put it above Last of Us then.
Okay. Cool. Castlevania.
This is a good one. I love this one.
This is good.
I love
it's original. It's original. Yeah.
Oh,
Castle gives the fantasy vibe. Yeah.
And Moon, what we talked about earlier, the castle itself is called Castlevania. Like that's literally what it's called.
Yeah. So when you invent something like I said, when you invent a new word and it's something in your series, it's a good point. So.
I mean, listen,
an entire genre taking inspiration from it, like you have to put some respect on that. So
yeah, especially just the Vania part adds so much to it because it adds to kind of like the goofy like tropey horror movies of like the 50s, which the franchise apes a lot from.
For me, this is like high A, maybe even low S. But
yeah, I can go with that.
I'll put it below Final Fantasy in S if y'all are cool with it.
Yeah,
let's do it. I'm cool with it. Call of Duty.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good, unfortunately.
It's one of those things where you don't want it to be good, but it's like, yeah, it works. And also there's the jokes. I mean, amazing anagram, top tier anagram, COD.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
COD, yeah.
perfect. COD 4,
And
COD
I do
Black
like that
Ops.
And I do like that it comes out sometimes towards the end of October, which is usually when I go to Whitby to eat cod. That's always funny.
Yeah.
We're all enjoying cod at the same time.
Yeah, just eat COD while playing COD.
Yeah, everyone's playing COD while I'm eating COD. Like, get on my level.
Yeah.
It
COD
is a really
just
good
because
name.
It works also just from a militaristic standpoint. Like, it's a military franchise, so it's the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And it is a term. It like going above and beyond the Call of Duty and all of that. So
yeah, answering the Call of Duty. Yeah, that's a really good name.
It's a good name.
But I don't want it to be good, so that has to take some points off it.
No, we're separating it from the franchise. Just the name. Just the name.
It's up there.
Otherwise,
it's definitely like where
it probably has to be A tier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has to be A tier. But it can't be above like them making a new name like Pokemon. So it can't be above
it's not above Pokemon.
It's not above Mortal Kombat.
No.
I don't think it's above Fallout.
No.
I would put it above Fallout, but like not. I don't know.
Would you put it above Resident Evil? Resident Evil is below Fallout.
I would put it above
Call of Duty above Resident Evil.
Okay, that's fair. Here's a fun one. Doom.
This is a good name.
It's a good name.
It's a boring name, but it is a really good name.
It works, but
you know what this is?
It can be deceiving
Jack,
now.
Yeah, here's the thing, Jack. It's a boring name because they kind of earned it by being one of the first. They're like, we're taking this.
Yeah.
I do feel somewhat similarly about Fallout. Like it is a kind of boring name, but it is a good name.
It just works because of its description. Like it's just a word that encompasses everything that is about the series, kind of like Uncharted.
Yeah, just Doom. We're in Doom. Do you when you guys
one syllable name is good too.
Do you guys associate devils and like demons with Doom? Because I think that's kind of that's the franchise though, and I wonder if you would consider that with like the actual like, if Doom never existed, would I say Doom and you'd think of demons?
I would think more of like just horror in general.
That is Doom though. Doom is horror.
Yeah, that's the only thing is Doom kind of leans more horror from you. Granted, fighting off the demons of hell is kind of a horror kind of example. Yeah. So maybe I don't. It's simple, but it doesn't fully encompass everything because it was so early. They just picked a cool name and said this is Doom.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like,
what do you guys?
It is if we're just judging the name and again not going by the franchise that it is, I think I'd have to say like maybe low B.
Yeah, low B.
But...
Okay.
Because it does give off the horror. Like if we're going on based off the first game, it does have a almost horror element. Like those pixels were scary back then.
It was terrifying.
So
I'll put
low B. I think works.
Yeah. So like below Last of Us, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I would say below Last of Us. Yeah.
Do
we have any? What do we have in C at the moment? Do we have anything in C?
One game, Super Mario.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's 1D. Not a lot of franchises with like bad names, though. Also, it's like we're doing the popular ones now. I bet the next time we do this, we're gonna start. Yeah, we're gonna start adding some of the Square Enix bullshit, like various day life.
Oh, no, that's an S tier. What are you talking about?
You're right. Halo.
This is a great name.
It's a good name because while it's not an original word, it's something within the series itself. It's the focus point of the series. It's not the military adventures of Master Chief.
Yeah.
Halo is one of those things where it's like it's such a good name that whenever I think to hear the word Halo, I think the games more than I think of like a circle on someone's head.
You know what's really funny was my grandmother worked in pet food, and a new brand of pet food of dog food came out called Halo, and my grandmother said, "Oh, like the video game?"
That
is a sign of a great name.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Top of B, low A?
I'm thinking
Low
A.
A.
I'm thinking A, yeah.
I mean, personally, I would put this like middle of A. Like, I'd put this above Fallout personally. Like, but
Man, you hate Fallout. Okay,
I don't hate Fallout. I'm bitter that my favorite franchise in the world is in B tier, but I can get over that.
We're just judging the names.
I know.
Jack.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Listen, man, Smash Brothers is D. All right, so like
that is a bad name. You know what the problem with
really
Smash
bad
Brothers
name.
is? I can't disassociate with the fact that the fourth game is just Super Smash Brothers 4 blank.
Yeah, yeah.
For
It's
Wii U.
Smash 4, but it's for Wii U and for 3DS. And there was that thing Sakurai said. It's like, well, technically, it's the fourth and the fifth Smash game. It's like, no, it's not. That is not true, bro. Okay, how about this? Halo above Grand Theft Auto, above Resident Evil, below COD.
I would put it below Resident Evil, or I would put it above Resident Evil.
Yeah, below COD. And you know what, Jack? How about this? Fallout is below Call of Duty now.
Yeah,
because you keep bringing
I
up.
I feel like you're giving me pity points here. If you want to keep it above it, keep it above it.
No, I am. I'll give it because I think everything you're saying, I think is fair. And I thought more about Call of Duty. It's like that is a good name. Like that's a really, really good name.
For the military shooter that it is a good name.
Exactly. Minecraft.
You mine and you craft.
You mine and you craft. I mean, that's kind of perfect. I don't know.
It's kind of it falls almost in line with Pokemon, where they did invent a new. They took their two things and mashed it together, made a new word.
It's not.
But it's like nowhere
it's not
near
inspiring.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
it's not as inspiring as Pokemon, but it's within the same realm.
That's the thing. Pokemon is like they kind of fucked around with it. It's like, okay, Pocket, we'll take the PO, we'll add a K like from the end of Pocket. And then like monsters, it's like we'll just take the mon. Like that works really well. Like they really tried. Minecraft is like, okay, mine and then craft and we put them together.
Yeah. like, I'm not saying it's as good as Pokemon, but I'm saying it's like its lesser cousin.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And it's weird for it to be a one word title that still have an anagram. That is kind of weird. Like I see MC a lot.
Yeah, MC. Yeah, you're right. MC is
because
very
people
common.
don't like to write out words. People like as soon as anything comes out, they try to find the anagram for it.
I saw people try to abbreviate Fallout once to FO, and I'm like, come on, guys, it's one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I guess does that go against it, Jack? You think if it's like requiring or uses an anagram? That's
I don't know if it actually
popular.
goes against it or whether I'm just trying to come up with excuses to not put it that high.
I mean, listen, I'm with you. I'm not that high on Minecraft. I think it works.
I'm high on Minecraft. I'm just not high on the name. I think the name is boring.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I'm separating it from the franchise. I love Minecraft, but like, I don't know.
It's high for being they have their simplicity of it, but but it's like you said, it's less complicated than like what Pokemon did. So it's I don't know, maybe low B's.
Low B, I'm fine with that. Yeah. What about below Uncharted?
I would put it below Uncharted. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with that.
Okay. At this point, I'm looking at the tier list. B has gone another tier. Should I just put Doom in C? Because I feel like we're not all that inspired by Doom.
Yeah.
That's currently the lowest part of B. Yeah. Mario needs a friend. It's tough for him.
Yeah.
Okay, we got.
Fair.
So I got two more here. If you guys want to shout some that you really want to do, I'm down. Metal Gear Solid.
Unfortunately, another very good one.
It's good
a franchise name for this because there's also Metal Gear, but everyone just says Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, because Metal Gear Solid outshined the original Metal Gear.
And MGS, that's an anagram. Metal Gear, like that's like the main enemy of the franchise in a way. There's
if we include
Metal
if
Gear
we just do Metal Gear, then we can include Metal Gear Survive.
Jack, you're kicked off. No, I mean, honestly, Metal Gear by itself also just works because it is just the Solid comes from like Solid Snake.
Yeah. So and even though it is just two regular words of Metal and Gear, nothing else like in the real world, kind of like Fallout, nothing Metal Gear is a thing. Like, yeah, you can say that gear that in your machine is made of metal, but it's not Metal Gear.
Yeah, it's that thing. No
So-
one ever thinks about like when you say Metal Gear, you know what you're talking about. You're talking about the franchise, which I
Yeah.
think adds a lot to it.
So
I think. I mean, I put it A.
yeah, I
If,
feel
if
like
we're
low
doing
A.
if we're doing Metal Gear, I would put it in B. If we're doing Metal Gear Solid, I would put it in A.
It's Metal Gear Solid as listed on
Yeah.
the website. So I think
Let's do
that.
Metal Gear Solid, and let's. Where would I put that?
Especially
I'll
I
put
like
that
the
again.
low
Another
A.
good
MGS.
anagram. Yeah, another good anagram. I'm
MGS,
afraid.
MGS2, MGS3, like it's perfect. I put it right next to Resident Evil, Halo, maybe.
I put it above Resident Evil because Resident Evil is just working off of the
Same.
horror schlock.
Yeah,
I put it
above
above
Resident
Fallout.
Evil, below Halo, personally.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it below
I'd
Halo?
agree with that.
I'm fine with that. Below
Yeah,
Halo,
Halo's
above
too good,
Resident Evil.
unfortunately.
All right. I got the last one here. Dark Souls.
I'm
The
yeah.
Souls are dark.
I think it's on the lower end because it's just generic
I don't think
enough.
it's a good name.
It's
you can say
generic.
it, man. It's not a good name.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I love Dark
you know
Souls to death, but it's not a good name.
It's better
the
than
only way-
Demon's Souls.
Yeah, dude, if Demon Souls, honestly, they might have Demon Souls on here. That would be F. I would make a tier just for Demon's Souls.
If it was Demon Souls, that's okay. Demon's Souls, like it's the soul that belongs to the. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, Dark Souls, I think I'd put it like C.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I put it in C
C's fair.
because it's
I would even
it's
put
generic, but it's not generic enough to be interesting.
It's still
like
good.
There's the anagram DS, DS2, DS3.
There's so many games with DS in them that I never
Yeah,
immediately
I'll
think
also-
of Dark Souls.
I'll also
The
add-
Nintendo DS.
I'll also add this. Dark Souls, it's in the game. There is the Dark Soul. And also, I'll add this. This is a cool thing. End of Dark Souls 3 is when you finally get the Dark Soul. Which I think adds to like kind of the mystique. It's like, wow, we waited till the third game. Like that's kind of cool. It was
finally got
mentioned.
the Dark Soul.
Yeah, it was like a cool moment for the community. It's like, oh shit, the Dark Soul. I think that's enough to keep it out of D.
No, I don't think.
fine.
Yeah, it should be. It shouldn't be a D. It should be a C. I think. I put it at
It's
the
C.
bottom of C, like just in terms of like
Yeah,
this. It's
I
got
put it
good
below
company.
Mario.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys want to shout out any more, or are we good?
I'm just like literally just looking to my left at my physical collection. Like, is there any standout?
I'm
Okay,
looking at a
we
list
can
of
have
franchises here. Let's have a look.
I'm just gonna shout out putting another entry for the C category. Life is Strange. Like, what the hell does that even mean?
I have to look for it on the list because there's like 500 franchises here.
I do like Liz as a
It's a
thing.
good anagram, but it's just a weird name, especially because when you try to, if it was just the one-off game, I think it would have worked. But when you try to expand upon it with sequels and branch spin-offs and all that, it loses its kind of meaning.
Yeah, Life is Strange is definitely one of those ones where you like, it kind of works for the like, oh well, it's like a teen adventure. Like, oh, Life is Strange. Like, yeah, when you're a teen, Life is Strange. But also, it's like, I'm not inspired by Life is Strange.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see what else
that
is in my
probably is a
physical
D. Oh, I know an
Ooh.
F tier. Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy's a rubbish name. I hate the Wonder Boy name.
Wonder Boy, yeah, Wonder Boy. Like, okay, man. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, here's
What
a good
about,
one. Like a Dragon.
That's annoying because there's also Yakuza, and I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
argue to the
that's
end
the
of this day, Yakuza's better. I think that's
It
way
is a
cooler.
better name, but Like a Dragon is like also
It's
good.
more original though.
Yeah.
Yakuza is just what the people are called, and the real life world Yakuza.
God, if I could just, I wish you guys could
tough
see
one.
this list.
Yeah, because
There's a lot of names on here.
Yakuza
Here's
is probably
Probably
a
not
better
on your
name.
list, but I'll
Interesting.
shout out Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Destroy. Yeah, Destroy.
Can
All
I
Humans
say
is
another
fantastic.
like pretty high one for me? Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. That's it.
That's real good.
That might actually be S. I'd actually argue that.
It might be S because there's just a lot in that name, and it works with what
Yeah.
the game actually is.
Yeah,
And it
Wolf
sounds German
as in,
enough
like,
to fit.
Yeah, it's like German. I'd put it in S. I'd put it below Castlevania, but like I'd put it in S.
I put it
Yeah,
in S.
high A or low S for me.
Yeah, I'll put it below Castlevania. Where
Should
would
we
you guys put
include
Yakuza?
Metroid since we included Castlevania?
Yeah, Metroid. I mean, that is an enemy in the franchise.
It's an original word. That's work good.
Yeah, original.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I've never loved
I'm not
Metroid as a
inspired by
franchise.
it.
Yeah, it's not like
I put it in C.
highly great. I'll put it at least B.
Oh, you think B? Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with
If it was
B.
Yeah. I
I
kind
guess
of like
because
the name
also we always
Doom
say
and Mario
Metroid.
more.
You like Doom and Mario?
No, I think I like
Yeah.
Metroid more than Mario.
Because
Just because
also
it's the
Super
original.
Mario
fair.
is like it's just a guy.
What about the top of C? Like
I'm
above
fine with
all
that.
the other C's?
That's
No,
fine.
I'm with that. Where did you guys say for Yakuza?
B.
Yeah.
Because it's just
High
the
B.
Yakuza, like the real life Yakuza. There's nothing really too interesting about that. Because you're just naming it
Okay.
after, you're the Japanese criminal underground.
I don't want to have had too much, so I'm just gonna ask real quick. So, above Minecraft for Yakuza, below Minecraft,
Below it.
Just below, yeah.
below. Okay. All right. Let's do one or two more. I'll add this one. Gears of War. It says a lot that people hate when they shortened it. When
That
they
is
shortened it
true.
to Gears, people hated that. It was like, no, it's Gears of War.
That's just people being attached to one thing and then they change it and people hate change.
But Gears
but
of War does have more aura than just Gears.
It has an anagram, but also it's an anagram that's been taken away from
It's
it because
already been
everyone's
taken.
yeah. Because if you say GOW, everyone thinks God of War, not Gears.
Yeah. But I think
it's
like Gears do play a big role in it.
Yeah, at least Gears
and
are
I do
actually
like
in it, so it's up there, but it's not like amazing.
And I do like that the logo
it just
always
feels
has
like
Gears.
it just feels like Of War is kind of like almost in the same vein as The Adventure of. It feels almost generic.
That is
Yeah.
true.
It seems like we're all kind of low on it. How about
I'm not.
bottom
I like.
I'm
I
fine
like
with
the
it.
name,
It works.
but
I put it below Doom.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah, below Doom, above Mario, because I think at least Gears of War kind of means something. Super Mario, he's just some guy, you know.
Can we throw the Elder Scrolls in there? Because I like that name a lot.
Yeah,
Elder
let's end
Scrolls
it
is
with
good.
Elder Scrolls. I think that's a good one to end on. The
That's
Elder
is a
Scrolls,
thing.
because also adding
are
the
in the game.
region, Tez, it's a thing. Yeah, that's a good one, Jack.
That's a good one.
I like the Elder Scrolls a lot. Yeah.
Here's my argument, though. Nobody says Elder Scrolls. Everyone
This is
always says
true.
Oblivion, Skyrim, Morrowind. They never say the Elder Scrolls part.
Well, they only say
that
Elder
takes away.
Scrolls when they're talking about the franchise in general, because mostly people just talk about the one game. Like all people only talk about Skyrim, so they're just going to say Skyrim.
Yeah, the only
that's
reason
fair.
Elder Scrolls is in people's mouth at the moment is because there isn't a name for 6, so it's just the Elder
That's
Scrolls
the thing.
6.
The moment 6 gets a name, everyone's just like, if the current rumor of Sentinel, if that's true, everyone's just gonna say Sentinel.
Yeah.
It's like,
Are they,
oh,
though?
you know,
I think Sentinel isn't interesting enough as a name, so maybe people will just keep calling it Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean,
I
people will
think the
shorten
other
it to
one was-
ES6 because you can't really shorten Sentinel too much, so they'll just shorten everything to ES6.
Okay,
Yeah,
because here's
whereas
my
people
thing.
did call Skyrim.
I'll say this: I think Sentinel kind of sucks as a name. If it was like the other kind of rumor of Dominion, I'd be down. I would just say Dominion.
Dominion's good.
I prefer that other name that's been floating around, Hammerfell.
Yeah,
Hammerfell, that's the region.
I like Hammerfell
Not
though.
eight
Like
asterisks, so.
I've been thinking Hammerfell for years would be the subtitle, so like I do like that name.
I mean, we're talking about like hypotheticals now.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the Elder Scrolls
The point being, I think the Elder Scrolls has so much aura as a title, but the fact that you're right, people don't say it, so
how about
does
this?
knock it.
Above COD, below Mortal Kombat.
I don't know about that high.
Oh, you don't think so?
Put it in A, but
I put it in A as well.
It's A because it's good, but I don't know.
Here's a perfect parallel. Is it better or worse than Fallout?
I like it more than Fallout, but people do say Fallout.
I'll say that because it is original. Like you don't say Elder Scrolls for anything else other than those games. So I'll put it above Fallout.
Above Fallout, below COD.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, I'm doing COD right now. By the way, it's just like
It rolls off the tongue. That's a top tier anagram.
Because Call of Duty is so goddamn long. Just like
really.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, everyone just says ES5, ES6, that thing. But yeah, I think that's it. I had a lot of fun. I really want to do this again. Do more franchises. But our current list, as it stands, in D tier, all by itself, is Super Smash Brothers. And I'm doing lowest to highest, by the way. So we go to C tier from the bottom: Dark Souls, Super Mario, Gears of War, Doom, Metroid. Into B tier: The Last of Us, Yakuza, Minecraft, Uncharted, Mass Effect, Street Fighter, The Legend of Zelda, and BioShock. Into A tier: Grand Theft Auto, Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, Halo, Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, Call of Duty, Mortal Kombat, and Pokemon. And then right at the peak name, only 3 games: Wolfenstein, Castlevania, Final Fantasy.
I'm good with that.
I think we cooked, personally.
Yeah.
That's
we
a
did.
good
Let's just pretend that we did put Life is Strange in with Smash Bros, so it has some company.
Yeah, I couldn't find Life is Strange, so but
Just so it has some company, and we don't feel bad about it.
You guys should see this list. There's like 500 franchises. It's on Tier Maker. And I'm like, oh, okay, this
I might
works.
do it
But then I
later.
realized finding games is really hard on this because you can't just like Control F. But yeah, shout outs. I had a lot of fun with that. I definitely want to do that again.
Yeah, that was fun.
We'll post that in the Discord and see how Bob thinks. He'll probably hate it.
Hey, we put some Microsoft franchises pretty high. You can't complain too much.
There you go. That's about what we've been playing. I'm still in that backlog era, just because it's like this is gonna be the last time I will, because there's a lot of new games in September I'm excited for. So just been playing a lot of stuff. Dishonored recently beat. Really enjoyed that game. It's a ton of fun. The DLC is also really high quality. I've heard a lot of good things about Dishonored 2. That it's just kind of better in every way. So I'm excited to jump into that soonish. But really recommend that game. It's holds up very well. Arcane has a cool vibe to their games that is kind of unmatched. It's kind of frustrating also. It's just like, oh, we still don't know what's going on with Arcane. So I'm like, hey, if they do go away, at least I could play through their old games again for the first time, especially with like Dishonored. I also just started up one of the last few GTAs I haven't played yet, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. I want to get through the last ones before GTA 6 comes out, which I got a bit of time. So it's Liberty
Which
City
we need
Stories,
to call out
Vice
Bench
City
for not
Stories.
beating GTA 5 before GTA 6, even though he has 3 more months.
He has 3 months. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's like, what do you mean? It's not even that long. It's like 30 hours. So it's like, you're just making excuses. But yeah, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, the first 2, and Chinatown Wars, which that's about 4 games, but they're not that long. So I want to see if I have the time to be able to go through the rest of those games. I was talking to Jack before the podcast. I'm like, man, I really didn't want to do GTA 1 and 2 because those are like
Apparently,
top
they are
down.
really good.
I heard 2 is actually really good, but I'm also like, I don't know. The top down, I'm like, this isn't right. But Chinatown Wars is top down, so maybe I need to play them just for practice. And I've heard a lot of amazing things about Chinatown Wars, so it's like, okay, maybe I'm just being facetious about it. But yeah, that's everything I've been playing. I'm about to go into full ball and gun gamer mode though, because I'm playing Marvel Rivals still. I'm playing Overwatch, and Fortnite is doing their new season with the gaming icons, and I'm like, I'm gonna turn into a ball and gun gamer these next few weeks. I think.
Oh, you just remind me. I need to go download Fortnite. God damn it!
Because they got that Persona skin. Like they leaked, or they didn't even leak. They revealed it, and I heard like I think Sonic was leaked. Mega Man is apparently in it. I'm just like, oh damn it!
Crash is also apparently part of it.
Crash. Oh fuck! I'm gonna spend so much money on Fortnite. I'm a true ball and gun gamer. But yeah, that's it for me. Jack, you been playing anything?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Just Skyrim. I respect
Just
it.
Skyrim.
Moon, what about you? You playing anything interesting?
I've been going through a lot of indies, which has been cool. That
Nice.
popular, like, I don't even know if it's considered a friend slob game, but The Shift at Midnight, which is like the hot new crazy thumbnail. I don't know. Did you ever read the story about how the creator of that game came up with that thumbnail? He basically
I haven't even.
hired a guy off what's that one website called where you can just hire people to do anything?
Oh, Fiverr.
Fiverr, that's it. He said he wanted the most like thumbnail ready clickbait artwork for his game, and that's exactly what he got. But it's an interesting game because it's your typical like little horror game, but it's interesting because the way that the game how it's set up is you have to like keep track of the information about the customers and if it's the real person or a doppelganger, because the doppelganger will always have something wrong about them, and then you just kill them if it is. And you're trying to organize the store, so you're running the store, you're keeping your eye out for doppelgangers. I don't know, it's a fun little loop, and there's like comedic moments too. Like I posted some clips in our Discord of there's this gnome that keeps randomly popping up and you have to kill him to get him to leave the store, otherwise he keeps causing havoc. And then your typical store management stuff of keeping the shelves stocked, cleaning the bathroom. I don't know, it's interesting, and there's like this overarching narrative of a serial killer. So I don't know, it's interesting. There's like 13 nights or shifts you have to put in, so I'm about a little over halfway. I need to just power through and get through the rest. But it's interesting, especially because it's promoted as a kind of a friend swap game where you're supposed to be playing with multiple people, but I've been having just a good time by myself. I started that Truck-kun game. Didn't get too far into it because
I was interested in that.
it's interesting, but it's not something, unless you're really into the gameplay, is something you can just play for long periods of time because it is a little repetitive. So you can just want to do bursts of it, like a little here, a little there, and apparently it's only like 2 to 3 hours long. So you just slowly chip away at it, and you'll eventually get it done. So, but for what it is, and the price of it, it's a fun game, especially when you're into all the anime tropes that it parodies. So it's a fun time. And then, but the big one that I'm currently addicted to is Restory, the Chill Electronics repair shop.
Yeah, let's deal with this. It looked
So
really cool.
it's really cool, and I got Bop on it, and he's now with me on it. It's really cool. You're just basically running this little electronics repair store in the early 2000s in Tokyo, and so you just spend your days fixing, getting orders from online of people sending in their little electronics like Ataris. They actually have Atari, like they're not like fake brands. Like they actually
they licensed it.
they licensed Atari. They didn't license like Sony and Nintendo because there are DSs and PSPs and all that, but they're not called those. They're called Nonies.
I love it. Where it's just like, we got to get around this.
But they're built all basically, and so you disassemble them. You get your screwdriver, you disassemble everything, you clean them up by dusting everything, painting, soldering, and all that. I just unlocked being able to update firmware, which was kind of cool. Which it's really funny because the way you update firmware, like the little mini game you have to do, all you do is just smash your keyboard, just like a fake hacker in a movie. You're just like typing away on a keyboard and you update the firmware. It's hilarious. And there's like an overarching story,
like Hacker Man.
Yeah, you perform the hacker man basically to do it. So that's a lot of fun. And then there is actually an overarching story of the repeat customers that you have. There's like things going on. You enter a competition of fixers in the area. There's like people going missing. There's even like an overarching story of the previous owner of the store that you run disappeared mysteriously. That keeps getting brought up. So I'm waiting for that storyline to get finished. And there was like a kid who went missing. That was one of your customers, and both the police and the Yakuza were after him. And it's a weird little story, but it works. But what's also interesting is you're not tied to the story. Like when you get a story related fix, you can kind of just put that on the shelf, be like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And you can just grind out online orders to just rack up money and clean up your store and do whatever you want. So you can do this game at your own pace, which is really cool. Because I've spent like just sessions of just doing online orders because I just didn't want to deal with the story.
That was my hope, where it's just like you're not just kind of forced into a narrative where I'm like, I don't care about this. It's like, okay, we could just fuck around and
and there are some times when you do just have to grind the online orders because to be able to do newer items or some items in the story require you to have a license to be able to work on them. So you have to save up money to buy the license to be able to work on them. So it has a nice balance of you can kind of do whatever you want at your own pace, but at the same time, you do have to tackle the story at some point. But I think it's really good if you like those like just like chill out. Because what I do is I play this game and work on online orders while listening to whatever I want to on YouTube, like my documentaries or whatever. And if you don't want to listen to that, it has its own lo-fi soundtrack, which is really cool. And so that's constantly playing in the background. There's like 4 or 5 different songs that it cycles through, and all of them are just really chill. So it has an 86 right now. It started at an 89 on open credit, but went down to an 86, and it's definitely very deserving. I'm curious to see how Bop feels about it because I'm really high on it. But it's so weird because I have it really high on my game of the year list right now. It's like number 4 or 5, but I'm just like, it's really just a little chill game. Like, should I really be putting this next to like Pragmata and all these other games? It's
just
I'm trying to like
enjoyment.
justify it. Yeah, it's all about enjoyment. So it'll be interesting to see how I balance it all out at the end of the year.
Nice, man. Yeah, you're telling me more. I really want to jump in on that. That game looks really sick.
Yeah, it's got a great art style.
Games.
And yeah, great chill game. And what was I about to say? Oh, I can't remember now. Oh, get the electric screwdriver as soon as you can, because that is a godsend in that game. Because when your original screwdriver is like slowly taking out each screw, when you get the electric one, it's instantaneous. It's like, oh, this is so good
though. That sounds I love this genre of like just like satisfying like day-to-day shit, which I think I really dig. Well, boys, I think that's it though. I had a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that naming thing. I didn't know how that would go, but I think we had a ton of fun working on that. And then just cool news across the industry. The Saber CEO story, still laughing about that. Just the funniest thing. But with that, I think we're ready to head out. If you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, every other podcast platform we're also on. Like the podcast, it helps us out a ton. And follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. With that, I think we're about to head out. Say goodnight, boys.
Bye.